Greetings, Eagles. It's that time again. Our weekly culture class. We've been talking about it for several weeks. This is one of the things that we can do. So we're going to do it in preparation for the 2021 school year. So taking a look and just a reminder of our mission to achieve authentic kingdom manhood while becoming spiritual champions, warriors, and game changers. It's the kind of men we want to be, real, godly men. Those kind of men that when you apply them to the situation, that the game has changed. All right, we've got our list of our core beliefs there. All right, also just a quick reminder, all right, about the Eagle Way. You know, these are the things that we gauge our decisions on, that we gauge our behavior on. All right, and the first one is to do what's right. The second one is to be responsible, and the third one is to be respectful. All right, that's our standards. That's our way of living. Being a part of Eagle football means more than just putting the helmet on Friday. It means it's a movement. It's a way of life. It's an alternative to the norm. And so, anyway, just a reminder. I know you guys know all those things, but to truly be who we are, we've got to continually keep those things in front of us so that we can be reminded of them. So today, I wanted to hit on our next core belief. And as you know, we've got a system of core beliefs. And we've been walking you through them. And I wanted to hit on this one today. And this is a really interesting one. And it's called excellence over score. And, there's a corresponding value to it, which is exactly what it says it is. It's excellence. Now, when you look at that core belief, it says that that we have this idea of excellence, and we're going to prioritize it over the idea of the score. All right. And so what that means is when we look and we evaluate our performance on a Friday night, then we're going to look and say, was it excellent? Before we say, did we score more points than the other team? Sometimes excellence is going to make you score more points. Sometimes it doesn't. All right, but we're going to prioritize it because we feel it's more important. Okay? Now, the definition of excellence is this. It is functioning at capacity. All right, so if we have within us the capacity to function here, but we're functioning down here, then that's not excellent. Okay? But if we're coming up here, we're pushing the top end, we're pushing the ceiling of what we can actually do, what we're capable of, that's excellence. Okay? I want to give you an example of some of these things. And I know I'll tell you a lot of stories, but that's part of knowing who we are and what these things mean. But I can tell you this, I bet you any of you have some memories of a game that you competed in, that you won, that you didn't feel like it was excellent. You walked away from it and you're going, man, we won it. I mean, I'm glad we won it, but I don't feel like we played very well. I don't feel like we did, like we played together as a team. I felt like we didn't encourage each other. I felt like we didn't work as a unit. Just didn't feel good about it. And then I think, probably most of us have also had the other experience where you have walked away from a game that you have lost and you went, man, I don't know what else we could have done, and you feel like you have functioned at capacity. Now, obviously, what we'd rather do is we'd rather be excellent and win. That's a whole lot more fun than losing. But I want to tell you what the necessity is. The necessity is that we compete with excellence. All right, so I want to tell you, I have a distinct memory in my mind of this, and I had two games that I coached in. One of them was actually a game that I can't even remember the year. I think it was 2007, 2008, somewhere like that. And we had a pretty decent team, and I ended up playing another team that was in our district at that point in time, and we were decisively better than that team. Probably should have mercy ruled them at the end of the first half. However, we got into the game and we start scoring and held them. But, next time we got the ball and we cough the ball up, we fumble it. Next time we throw an interception. It's just stupid stuff. We're giving the ball away. And we kept them in the ball game. We ended up beating them 35, 40 points, something like that. And I'll never forget, the reporter comes to me after the ball game and he says, Coach, 35, 40 point win, whatever it was. How do you feel about that? Does it feel great? It's a district ball game. You just sealed a playoff spot. And I looked at the reporter and I said, honestly, we don't want to be just good enough to win. We want to be excellent. And really what we did tonight was not excellent. We turned the ball over 6 times. We got into the red zone and turned the ball over. We let them score on a couple of big plays that we had no business letting them score on, and I don't feel like we competed with excellence. We want to be uncommon. We don't want to be common, and that was just not an uncommon performance. And, one of my players the next morning, he called me, he's like, Coach, wow, you kind of were harsh. And I was like, well, what do you think? Did you feel good about it? He said, well, no, not really. And I said, well, exactly. You know what? If I feel good about it when we leave that game, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell that reporter we did great when we didn't do great. We won, and it was good because we won, and I'm happy for you guys. I'm happy for us that we sealed a playoff berth, but I really don't care for the way that we compete. He said, well, no, Coach, I get it. I understand. Have another experience in the year 2002. I was coaching a team that at that time was ranked the number 2 team in the state, and in our district was a team that was ranked the number 1 team in the state. In Austin Regents, who was then 6 men, they ended up winning the state championship that year. Got down to the last week of the regular season. We were playing for a district championship. And I just watched 2 teams just duke it out. it was like a heavyweight boxing match from beginning to end, and traded scores, traded defensive stops. And at the end, we had a little bit of a lead, just a tiny lead going into the last minute or so. They came back and won it by 2 points. And I looked at the field and I thought, man, I saw my guys laying on the field because they had passed out. They were just laying there with no life left in them at the end of that game. And I looked at it and I thought, you know what? We lost that game, but it was excellent. There was nothing else that I could have asked from those young men in that particular situation. So those are some examples. All right. And that's why we say that we want to prioritize excellence over the score. All right. Because sometimes we can compete in a way that's excellent and not outscore the other team. Sometimes we can outscore the other team and not compete in a way that's excellent. What does God want from us? He wants our best. He wants us to function at full capacity. The score, that's kind of up to him. We can't really control. We can control it to a degree, but at the end of the day, we can't always control every piece of the score. But we can, control the way that we function. And so I want you to keep thinking about that and take these things, guys, and digest them, because they're at the heart of who we are. These things are core beliefs. Guys, our beliefs dictate the things that we say, and our things that we say dictate the things that we do. And they're so important for us to understand these things and to be able to digest them and let them become part of us. Hope you're having a great day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take care and God bless.